G'day, we're Daniel and Georgia coming to you from the top of the bicentennial tree this episode 6, which covers our travels from Denmark through to wherever we get to really.
Along the southwest coast of WA.
We're going to start you off with our highlight reel, but while that's happening, we're going to try and climb down here. Yeah, third time's the charm. Hey guys, welcome to episode 6. This episode we're going to focus on the cost to camp between Denmark and Busselton. The reason why that's our focus is because between Denmark and Busselton, there's a lot of areas there where there aren't any free camps at all. And where there's no free camps to outweigh the more expensive camps, it can get quite costly pretty quickly. So far, between leaving Mount Gambier and leaving Denmark in WA, our camping has cost us $19.92 per night on average. There's at least 4 nights in there in a caravan park where we paid $62 per night. And there's a whole heap of free camping and low cost camping in there as well that helps to balance that out. Now, just a quick disclaimer, this was our experience, just 2 people in a camper van. Your experience might be different if you come through here, different time of the year, different setup, different number of people, but this is the experience that we had. The first night after leaving Denmark, we stayed at a place called Parry Beach. It cost us $23 to stay there for the night. The place has solar hot water showers, so if there's sun out, you'll get a hot shower. There wasn't, so it was cold showers. It's right by the beach. I had a spot of fishing, no luck, unfortunately, and we also tried to fit up the solar panel there on the front. It looks absolutely terrible, and I'm never ever going to show you close-up pictures of it. It's horrendous. But it does the job, so not much more that you can ask. Following our stay at Parry Beach, we headed out to the Valley of the Giants and did the treetop walk. So you get up to 40 meters above the floor there, and the trees are still probably a good 20 to 30 meters above where you're walking. It's pretty cool. There's a cost to enter the treetop walk, but there's also another walk nearby, which we also did, that's free to enter. You can go in and check out. It's an ancient forest walk there. On the same day, we went and checked out Circular Pools, which was nearby. There's a fair few different tree type experiences, walks and things like that you can go on in that area. So we did a few of those and then ended up staying at a rest area just 16 kilometers west of Walpole. There were a couple other people there. I don't think you could fit too many different caravans and things like that in there, but for one night in a small van like ours, it worked just fine. Heading off from there, the next day we did the bicentennial tree climb, which only goes up to about 20 meters now. It used to be a lot higher apparently, but 20 meters is more than enough. How'd you find the climb?
A little bit scary, I think mostly because my shoe choice was not the right one with the Birkies. I was pretty scared about losing my footing, but alas, here we are.
And to think it goes another 45 meters up.
Crazy.
The bit right up the top is the sketchiest. And similar to the day before, we just did a lot of scenic driving, checking out a lot of the tall trees, went into Pemberton, got ourselves some iced coffees, and yeah, just had a nice chill day. And towards the end of that day, we pulled into a place called Rooney's Bridge. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get the van down here. It's a bit hectic. A place called Rooney's Bridge, it's a free camp. Sort of between Walpole and Munjalup. I'm thinking over on the left-hand side here, try and ride this ridge a bit. See where the trees are. Nice early start for us this morning. George has got work and because of the time difference between SA and WA, that means she starts at 6:30 this morning, but it's even earlier for us because there wasn't anywhere down the bottom of this campsite. Wasn't anywhere at the bottom of this campsite where we could get the Starlink to work properly enough for her work. So we're going to head into the next town, which is Manjinup, 20 minutes away. Find somewhere to set up. Just going to drive this track out of here first. But yeah, that was Rooney's Bridge, if I haven't mentioned it already. And nice spot, yeah. We didn't end up taking many videos or anything like that of the place because we pulled up and just started having a good conversation with the people that were there. By the time that was done, it was time for dinner and bed. So, Manjinup to the left.
Is it? Let me look it up.
Yeah, it is, because we drove past this one. Manjinup's to the left.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, that's Georgia set up. Nice clear view of the sky. And we can go for a look through the town. Better start the day with a coffee.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, so the solar panel,
Pardon?
the one in front.
In front, it's internet.
Oh, internet.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, that's huge. After stocking up on supplies in Manjinup, we went through to a free camp called Willow Springs. Had a bit of a look around and it was an alright place, but we just weren't really feeling it. So we decided to keep driving and we ended up in a place called Alexandra Bridge. This place was $10 per person per night, so 20 bucks for us. And there's actually a bit of upgrades going on at the moment. I think they were building a jetty there. There's outdoor cold showers. We didn't try fishing, but in the river you could see a heap of brim, so I reckon you'd be pretty lucky if you went brim fishing there. Each site was quite large, once again covered in trees, and each site seemed to have a fire pit from what I could see. It could be wrong there. There was also an accessible site there too, which was quite cool. From there, we headed through to Cape Lewin to check out the lighthouse. From a bit of a distance, we decided not to do the tour in there. We went to Hamlin Bay, which is known for stingrays in close to the shore, but there was about to be a thunderstorm just rolling in, so we decided to jump in the van and keep moving along and made our way into our next campsite, which I think we found on Hip Camp. It's called Fair Harvest. It was $43 for the night. This is us for the night on site 4B. We're just getting a map. They've signed us in, read the rules. They've got
So cute.
some farm fresh produce just here.
4B's in the middle near the picnic area.
Oh, cool. Oh, we'll have to check it out. Easily the best shower I've had on our trip so far. And there's just so much to do at the farm there. You could go for a walk around and check out the veggie patches. They had a heap of animals that you could go and have a look at. There was a fresh produce stall. Their two dogs were pretty sociable. As some of the worst weather hit, the dogs came and made friends with us and decided that they'd shelter underneath the van. And we picked up 4 fresh eggs from the farm and made some whole egg pasta. That was our activity to see out the bad weather, so that was quite enjoyable. Now, just quickly skipping over what we did the next day, we went to spend 2 nights in a place called Peaceful Park. Oh, these must be the gatekeepers. Do you have the money ready?
Caretakers of the grounds. This is like someone's backyard.
Excuse me, sir. Can we stay for a couple of nights? No? I think you said sort yourself out.
Yeah. We'll just head in then, I guess.
It was $20 per night. No facilities, you had to be pretty much fully self-contained, but there was a lot of open space as well. There was a lot of kangaroos around. The common theme we found between those two places that we stayed, the Peaceful Park and the Fair Harvest, was they're both quite close to Margaret River. So with their really central locations to Margaret River, we spent each day just going in and checking out all different attractions. Well, after a bit of a rough start to the day today, we woke up with a heap of ants in the van. We headed back into Margaret River, sorted out the ant problem, did some grocery shopping to replace the things that we had to throw out, and then made ourselves some breakfast by the park. But the place we've just been to has really turned our day around. It's the Yahava Coffee Works, and it's more than just a cup of coffee, it's really an experience. I didn't put too much video together of the inside because I didn't want to give away too much to anyone who might go there. We did a coffee tasting experience, which was complimentary, so 6 shots of coffee all up between the two of us. Got a nice coffee to go. Leaving the Margaret River region, we beach hopped our way around to Busselton, where we'd initially called over the phone and gotten ourselves into a tent site. We called up just to clarify because obviously we're not in a tent, but because the van doesn't take up a heap of space, we were able to stay in the tent sites, and that brought the price down a fair bit. With our membership, our timing, and getting the tent space, it ended up costing $33 a night. So initially booking in for 2 nights, we really enjoyed the place, and we ended up extending to 4 nights in Busselton. The average cost per night for the trip that we've just shown in this episode is $23.45, which is pretty good, I think. And if we add that into all of our camping so far, it brings the trip total to $20.75 as an average. In our next episode, I'm going to show you an alternative and I'd argue much more interesting route between Busselton and Bunbury, and share how we keep track of the campgrounds that we're interested in going to and the things we want to see and do. When you're taking in information from so many different sources, YouTube, Wikicamps, camps books, Facebook groups, talking to people, different suggestions you get online, how do you keep track of it all? We've got a bit of a solution that I think works really well, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in our next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. What did you think of the observatory, Georgia?
Very cool, yeah. Lots of more like lively coral and things than I was expecting to see. Lots of colours and straight away there was fish.
Lots of little and like medium-sized fish. Yeah, not many big
nothing
fish.
Too big. No sharks or anything.
Yeah, but big enough that I want to come out here tonight and go fishing again.
Catch them.
Yeah, I also bought a filleting knife today, so I need to catch some fish to use that. And the other thing is we came out here last night, but just nowhere near this far. We were about 400 meters out, and this is like 1.8k.
1.84 kilometers.
Yeah, right to the end, but you can't fish right at the end. You can only fish, it's about 1.7. Yeah, 1.7k. Maybe. If we've got enough energy tonight, we might walk all the way out here, see if we can catch some of the fish that we saw, and hopefully they're big ones, and hopefully the filleting knife works well.
It's interesting how much the fish hang around under the jetty. If you looked a couple of meters either side of the jetty, all of a sudden there was no fish and they were all right underneath.
Yeah, the fish that we caught last night were all pretty much bang under the jetty, and we got 3 herring, 3
trumpeters.
Yep, and a
cobbler catfish.
Yeah, it was really weird. It looked kind of like an eel on the back and a flathead in the middle and a catfish on the front. Yeah, we've got about 1.6k of the walk left to do. It looks deceptively shorter than what it is.
It does actually. I think they were saying something about the bends that are in it to make it look like you're closer to shore than you are.
All right, we're back on the jetty. It's not that night. That was yesterday. We ran out of steam. We went for a swim. What else did we do yesterday?
What did we do? We got caught up doing something.
Shopping? No. I don't know. We had a good day.
I can't remember.
Whatever happened. It was fun.
Something good. I gave you swimming lessons.
Yeah, George has been teaching me how to swim good.
Swim good.
How to swim
Daniel
good.
knows how to swim to not drown, but not how to swim as such, if that makes sense.
It's the whole breathing part I find tricky.
Like doing strokes.
Yeah. So we've been practicing that because the Discovery Park we've been staying at has like a, what would you say, like a 20-meter pool?
Yeah, probably close to.
Yeah, and it's heated and it's really good. We're only paying like $33 a night for a powered site, so it's pretty good.
I'm happy.
Yeah. But anyway, we're back on the jetty.
Daniel, this looks like fresh squidding. It's wet.
Yeah, there's heaps of squid ink out here. We've already passed where we were the other day, where we were fishing from, so that's about 400 meters out.
So probably about 500 now.
Yeah, we were saying about going all the way to the end. I don't know, we'll see. It's a long walk out there.
I think by the time we went all the way to the end, it'd be time to come back because we'd already be getting back at like 1.
Yeah, we left a bit later than we'd been planned to. If I haven't mentioned it yet in any of our videos, I ran over our fishing rods the other day when we were in Denmark because I don't have a proper home for them yet. They usually just stay in like the footwell of the sliding door. So when we park up somewhere, I pull them out and I stick them under the footwell. And then whenever we move, I just put them back. But we were staying in one spot at the caravan park. So we weren't packing all our stuff up when we went to leave. And I drove out, and it was as soon as I drove out, I was like, our fishing rods were there.
The car and you were like, I've just run over the fishing rods.
I just grabbed some pliers and straightened out what I could, and we've been catching fish ever since. But I don't know, there's something about $15 Kmart fishing rods that have been run over that are still being used. I don't know, a little bit sad. Here's the sign to say we've made it 1 kilometre out on the jetty.
And there's a fish cleaning station right at 1 kilometre, so it feels like the right place.
Cool. Yeah, they've got these fish cleaning stations every, I don't know, 300-400 metres or so. But from here, this point here, there's 800 metres worth of jetty still out that way. 1k back that way. Well, no luck at 1,000 metres. We're going to drop back about 100 metres at a time and fish our way back into shore. There was a couple of groups who'd come from all the way down the end of the jetty, and they said they got absolutely nothing. So maybe the further out in the jetty you go, the harder it is, or maybe there's just not much on tonight. But I'll move in a bit and see how we go. We just tried it about 600 metres out and got 2 trumpeter and 1, I think it was a herring, but it looked a little bit different, so don't know. They all went back in, so we're gonna go try one last spot, call it a night. It's 10 past 12 at the moment, getting a bit cold. This is where we caught 6-7 fish the other day.
Not very long.
Yeah, not too much time, but we'll have one last go, a bit further down. Well, we're calling it a night. Didn't catch anything more. You could see the fish, you could see the squid. It's about 1 a.m. Well, a slightly blemished end to our time. What do you mean? Why are you laughing?
It's just a funny choice of words.
You wouldn't choose.
Catching up to the ray.
You wouldn't choose blemished.
He's about to go under the jetty.
There's heaps of stingrays. Even at night time, you can see them. Yeah, last night in Busselton. We're leaving in the morning. Don't know where we're going.
Not sure.
Somewhere between here and Bunbury. We came in only planning to stay a couple of days here, and we've ended up spending 5 days here. I just really enjoy the place. It's been really good. Unfortunately, tonight's fishing, not so good.